I said, are you ready? Woo!
What's going on, sir?
Nothing. How are you?
Good. I got my mixed plate coffee, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Good. I have my water bottle.
Yeah. We hit up the mixed plate for breakfast today. Got me the meat lovers omelet, and it's good.
What all do they put in their meat lovers?
Sausage, bacon, ham, Spam, egg. Cover it with gravy. You get it with house potatoes. It's pretty good.
How's Spam? I don't know that I've ever tried Spam because it looks like a tongue.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. That's what us roast people eat.
What does it taste like?
Meat.
That's super. Thank you for the super descriptive. Very helpful.
Meat in a can. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to continue to not eat it then.
Oh, don't be a big weenie. Just eat it. It's good. It's good for you. We'll go there and get a Spam burger.
They do have, they've been posting a lot of pictures, and they do a very good job because it always looks delicious.
That's true. It's a good time. But it's been a busy week in wrestling. There was what do we have? AEW All In this past weekend, and then this coming weekend there's three.
A lot. Emergences.
I'm old school. And I'm calling them pay-per-views. 3 pay-per-views.
They're always going to be called pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Because regardless, you're paying per the view because you have to pay monthly for these subscription places anyway. So you're still paying for it. So
you are. You're getting at a discount though. That helps. Instead of paying like $50 per pay-per-view, you pay 10.
Or you pay to view live most of the time. So
that is true.
You can call anything a pay-per-view.
It is true.
Damn house, it cost you $500. So sorry, wrestling show, not news and bullshit shows.
Yeah.
Proceed with wrestling.
Real quick, thank you, Harold. You're cool too, buddy. Just to go over some brief results from All In. Mariah May, she did defeat Timeless Toni Storm and won the AEW Women's Championship.
It's been a good view.
I saw on the internet, it could be fake news because I didn't really research it. I saw it was like cool. She was doing some like nude celebration or something. I was like, oh interesting. Right. But maybe I think it was almost like
shoot with the belt.
Huh?
Maybe she did like a boudoir shoot with the belt.
That could be. And then Hook defeated Chris Jericho and he won the FTW championship. His father had to get involved and he put somebody in a Taz mission. I think it was Brian Keith. Put Brian Keith in the Taz mission.
I'm glad they got Taz involved. He seems like he needs to get involved. He gets very, very upset with people.
He's very angry. Well, you know what? I've realized all the guys on the East Coast, they're very high strung. I mean, we go back to our old football coach, Mike Rendon. That's probably the most high strung person I've ever met. But I feel like the further west you go, the more laid back people are.
That sounds about right.
Jazz cigarettes, you know what I'm saying? Anyway. But I haven't seen this. I haven't got to watch All In, and I'll be honest with you, I probably won't watch All In. But
you can watch pretty much everything online. So if you don't want to pay, or you just aren't home, or obviously we've been in and out a lot, it's hard to watch all of it. So the stuff that we don't get to watch, you just kind of catch up on with X, or I assume Instagram. It's on there, or TikTok. I'm guessing it's on there. Hell, you can probably just watch the show on TikTok. In all fairness.
I don't know. No, I'm still stubborn. I'm still boycotting Bleacher Report. I'm still a little hot over that a few months ago. You know, Sting. Speaking of that, Sting did appear. I'm not sure what match he got in, but he did appear in that show.
Oh, it was Darby Allin.
Oh, the coffin match.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the lights turned back on, and it was Sting. I think they were doing something.
Yeah.
And lights. Okay. He stayed retired for what, like a couple months. And he was like, I want to get back in it.
He's doing the Ric Flair approach, retired.
Life must not be near as good whenever you're not wrestling.
They said he didn't do it. I don't think he did too many moves. He just kind of maybe appeared and
I
scared him.
guess it's really hard to, like, he was out of it for a little bit, and then now that he's back in, getting that adrenaline. I feel like Taker did that too, where he kept saying, like, he did the whole leave the hat and the coat in the middle of the ring and then get out. And then it was like, next week he's back. And it was like, well, what the hell was that? And he was just like, no, I changed my mind, man. I want to get back in the ring.
Went like, because what was it when they went to Saudi? It was either the Goldberg match or the god awful tag team match that they had.
Oh, yeah,
it was like they were paying me like $3 million for a match, and it's like, that's kind of hard to turn down, you know. So they, yeah. But then moving along, we had Christian Cage. He's going to be he won the gauntlet match, casino gauntlet match, to be the number.
Such a good heel.
You know what? Those 50-plus-year-old guys, they're pretty good still wrestling.
Well, because they know their shit. Like, they get the storytelling aspect. And that's where I think they'll come into play with that younger generation that just wants the spot. Like, they think about those crazy high spots or the crazy shit they can do to their body to get the pop. But you can do so much less if you're telling a good story. You can tell a good story, and that can take over the whole segment or what you're doing. But if you can, utilize both of those aspects, and you can learn how to tell that really cool story in the ring. Like, a one that's really good at that in the independent scene, I feel like Ace Perry always gives, like, the amount of information we get from those feuds is awesome, because then on commentary we get to talk that, but you can tell he's invested in what's going on. He understands why he's fighting this person. He understands why they're fighting him, the implications of it, the ins and outs of it, and that tells a good story. And he's also damn good in the ring. He's just super athletic, and you can mirror those, and that's where I feel like AEW, you get that Christian Cage storytelling aspect with a Darby Allin or Young Bucks ability to put on the performance in the show. You get some cool stuff. Like Christian versus Darby would be awesome, because Christian can pull out that real story in him where, like, he's legitimately pissing him off and going deep. They may have already feuded and done that, and I just don't remember it, but I feel like that'd be a good pairing. But guys like that just pull out that storytelling aspect, I feel like.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Does Christian still run around talking about people's fathers?
Oh, yeah. He is relentless, and I love it. It's like my favorite, because that's, like, obviously with, like, the way we get to do it. Like, that's my favorite part of wrestling. Like, I love talking shit. It's so much fun. Like, it's the best part of it. You just get to be an asshole.
Until one of them bites you in the ass and kicks the crap out of you.
Like I said, his heart has to make it to the show before he can.
I wasn't talking about just him. You've ticked off others.
I talk a lot of shit. I don't care. It's fine. That's why I keep getting in the gym. I'll just keep trying to get bigger and bigger, and then hopefully.
Yeah. Don't forget, you've already angered Sam. You've angered Dalton McKenzie.
What did I anger Dalton about?
You said he only bench pressed 200 pounds or something.
Okay. No. Hold on. First of all, no. I want to clarify what I said. I said that he shrugged 200 pounds. What I was saying was, my weak little self, shrugged 70-pound dumbbells. I was picturing the big 200 pounds that you can get at peak performance that I can't lift up off the ground. I'm picturing him picking those fuckers up and shrugging them. That was what I was saying. He just misunderstood slightly, and then he wanted to kill me. But everything was good at the show, and I didn't get murdered. So,
well, that's true.
I think as well. I do want to clarify that was what I meant when I said that, was that it was 200-pound dumbbells. I wasn't saying he only shrugged, because I only personally shrugged 70 pounds. So I thought, 200s would be, that's a pretty hefty amount. So
you're saying 200-pound dumbbells each, right? Or two 100s?
Yes, 200 pounds in each hand. So 400 pounds total to get the gigantic traps that man has.
Okay.
I'm trying to work my way there, but 70s hurt. I did them this morning after the sauna, and
you were probably a little heat deprived from the sauna after being there for 5
hours. Well, we have a business meeting, and sometimes those go long, and we do, 45 minutes to an hour in the sauna, and then you melt.
True.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, I don't know if that's good or bad for your body, but boy, does it take out a lot of sweat.
We'll live and learn.
Typically, wring my clothes out afterwards. Like, I can
disgusting. That's
very
freaking sick. The main event for All In, the title versus career. Bryan Danielson won the AEW World Championship from Swerve Strickland, so he's still going. But that was your all-in review.
So the stipulation is that once he loses, he is done. That's the end of his in-ring career. Yep. So this is his last run. He's going to do a title run, and then once he loses the title, then he's done. That's the end of his. He said in-ring career, so my guess is he's still going to do the behind-the-scenes stuff or manager style things or whatever. But
or commentary or
in-ring career is done.
Yeah. Moving ahead to Monday Night Raw, Judgment Day versus LWO. That was the opening segment. Dirty Dom versus Papa Ray.
Okay, I have a question.
What?
Are you getting sick of the Judgment Day? I mean, I know that's the point, but not in a good way. More like I don't want to watch it.
I don't know. I'm kind of going the opposite way. It's like, okay, this is they're kind of getting away from the gothic weird stuff. And it's almost more comedic to me. And that's how I look at it. It may not be that way, but it's like, to me, it's coming off as a comedic routine. And I'm like, oh, okay. Especially with Carlito, who just doesn't fit in at all. He's just there. But JD and Finn, they make sense together. Two Irish guys. Dom, I guess
with a bobblehead.
Yeah, Dom and Liv, that story itself. There's a lot of things going on there, but I think the Dom, Liv, Rhea triangle. Damian Priest doesn't really fit those three. He should be just at the other guys.
They kind of shoehorn them all because so Damian and Rhea are doing their thing, kind of, and then Becky just challenged Rhea, and Seth is going after Damian currently. So my guess is they're setting up for that to be kind of a tag type deal.
Like a mixed tag, yeah.
I feel like they really like to utilize the fact that Becky and Seth are married. And they
do now. I can't feel like
from it.
Yeah, for the longest time they'd be like, you guys are together? No, they're not on screen. Nope. Yeah. And now they're kind of
I don't get that. That's so silly. Just like when McMahon was there, making them all do these silly whatever he chose your gimmick to be because he thought it's not going to come off real. That's why these people don't translate to the audience because it's not them. You have to be your authentic self. If you're fake, it translates to fake. People don't always realize it's what it is, but if you're fake and you're not being your real self or you don't believe in what you're doing, that comes off. If we were doing this and we were like, I don't know. I watch wrestling sometimes. Nobody's going to fucking watch that. Nobody's going to sit and pay attention to what we're doing, but we know our shit. We know how to, we know what, we like wrestling. We literally live in the wrestling world now a lot of weekends.
Yeah.
So, but it's all in the way you believe in what you're doing and kind of utilize that to your character and your persona. It has to be you, but you have to ramp that up with that confidence 10 times over. And that's where I feel like they find the best characters and this stuff translates and the crowd buys in. So why not utilize a married couple they could even do it where they have a married couple fight and then it sets up this whole thing where they're not in with each other and they're on the outs and Seth's sending people to beat your ass or whatever. They could do all kinds of silly things with it that they don't normally go for because they stay out of that real world. But that's where you pull the best real world drama from is those real stories. I think it was Bully Ray that said the other day, if he was in the independents, he would find two guys that legitimately had beef, or he would go around and ask everybody, hey, who do you legitimately have a problem with for any reason at all? And he's like, it could be the most minuscule thing, but take that and find some way to turn it into the story because now it's real. Now you feel it. You know that this is, and then you get that emotion from the crowd. You get that emotion all across the match, and then it becomes this awesome storytelling aspect.
Yeah, no, you're right. They have done the Trouble in Paradise a couple times. Goldust, Terry Reynolds, and Sable and Mark Merrow.
Okay.
back in the Attitude Era when it was.
Go a little aggressive, so maybe they're saving it all for the Netflix era.
They might be because they did. That's when the first evening gown match happened.
That was back with like the bra and panties matches
and then they did the bikini contest with Sable and Jacqueline at Fully Loaded 1998. When I watched that with my grandmother, that was a fun dinner. I can tell you that. Sable top off, but I don't know.
While we're talking about the wildness of the old school WWE, did you see what was announced yesterday about the Netflix documentary
with Vince McMahon? Yeah,
the rise and fall of Mr. McMahon. That's going to be.
That's going to be. Oh gosh, that's going to be wild. I mean, we'll find out if he was always a POS or if he at one time was a person. So I don't know.
Sounds like there's a lot of shit going on back there.
I feel like at one time he might not have been, but I also feel like if you were in his tight knit group, he took care of you. If you were not, he didn't care.
Yeah.
So yeah, that drops. When does that drop?
September 25th.
Okay, I'll be sure. I'll be tuning in.
3 days before Fall Fury. Get your tickets now, right?
Yes.
It's
all good. Did you see Uncle Howdy made his in-ring debut at Monday Night Raw? Yes, he wrestled Chad Gable.
Okay. Oh, so they actually got in the ring and fought for once.
Yeah.
So how'd they do it? I did not get to watch that one.
I'm not exactly sure. I just saw the clips of them actually in the ring wrestling. Like it was a legit wrestling match.
Because I feel like if you're gonna make him this supernatural thing, like they talked about that with Bray, that then you just do a normal wrestling entrance and everything's just like whatever. Like the lights come on and it's just this, but you're supposed to be these like supernatural. Like you murdered a guy at one point. You literally murdered the guy that you're wrestling right now. But now you're just like having a normal wrestling match. I don't know. They always do that with the supernatural characters. And I wish they would just keep it. If you're going to go into that world, then just same thing. Believe it. Buy into it. It's all real. These guys have magical powers. Like they're these mythical, magical beings that come out and smash people's heads, whatever you want to do, but you got to believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how like the entrances was played out or what, but I think he got the dub. But they were comparing him to Bray, and I think that's always going to be the downside is no matter what they do, they'll be compared to Bray, and you're not going to go over top of him. It's just not possible.
And in all fairness, Bo Dallas wasn't like super great, like not to be an ass, but you got to believe, and people did not believe. And
no, they did not.
It didn't go well the first time, but I hope that he, like, I don't know, learns from that and they get like this cool character. But I also think people don't forget about that as well. And the more they get out of this supernatural thing, like they were really building it to be this awesome, badass thing. Like they were keeping them very mischievous and mythical and mysterious and all of the above. And then now they're just having normal wrestling matches on the show. And it's like, oh, you could have done this in such a different way. Like have them only have backstage matches where they're only having these backstage brawls because that's just where they lurk, or like anything, just something along those lines to keep it from just being another like, oh, they're just having matches again. Like just have them jump people every week where everybody backstage is like looking over their shoulder like, oh shit, where are these creepy fuckers coming from now? And then you roll with it that way. But I don't know. I don't write for WWE, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Jumping to NXT, it looked like it was a pretty good show. Wesley and Zachary Wentz from the Rascals, they faced off, and they'll have a match at NXT No Mercy. We'll go over that card in a little bit. Kalani Jordan tried calling out Wendy Chu, but Rosemary from TNA answered the call.
Oh.
Yeah, Rosemary. I don't know if you've ever seen her. She's a pretty creepy character, almost similar to a Sister Abigail type. But Jordan did beat Rosemary. I was a little bummed to hear that one. But and also at the end, Joe Hendry.
Yeah, she should beat everybody. She has that lady is monstrous.
Yeah, she is. She is. And then at the end, Joe Hendry put on a concert.
Oh.
I'll have to go check that out.
Did he believe in himself?
Yeah, I performed a live concert, but it was interrupted by Ethan Page.
Oh,
And
what an ass.
then Ava Rain announced that Trick Williams would be the special guest referee for the NXT Championship match between Ethan Page and Joe Hendry.
Oh man, he's getting a title shot already.
Dude, he's the hottest thing in wrestling. What do you expect?
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Cause you love him in London and Paris.
In Tokyo. Yeah. Anyway, so that was
If it's copywritten or not. We're just trying to promote you, man. So please don't.
trying to promote you. Oh, look, and YouTube is flagged. No, I'm joking.
It wouldn't surprise me. That's how we got a ban on TikTok. Was I said a bad word about myself, and we got a 2-week timeout.
Yeah.
I'm very sensitive.
And then on NWA Power, Carson Drake and the Slime Balls, they defeated Magic Jake Dumas and the Kids.
I like their name.
Dumas, dumb. I don't know. I'm assuming it's Dumas. I don't think it's
Carson
dumb.
Drake and the dumbasses.
No, it's Carson Drake and the Slime Balls.
Oh, okay.
They beat
Right.
Magic Jake Dumas and the Kids.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a great promo though, because I would just start calling him, "Hey, Magic Jake dumbass, get out here."
They might. In
They
NWA, it's a little secret there. So
I'll have to start
It's on
watching that.
it's on the CW app. It's a free app. You can
Okay.
download. You can
Oh,
watch that in
good.
NXT next year together.
Sweet.
Ish. So, AEW, I don't know. I looked it up. I don't watch AEW because I don't know. I just don't. You said earlier about what did you say about Moxley?
So Moxley came out with Shivani and just kind of cut a promo about how he's like, I don't know, I forget the gist of it. Something about like not feeling himself or whatever, and basically challenged Darby Allin. But in the midst of the promo, he made a comment about it not being their company anymore, and there was a lot of internet speculation that Shane O'Mac might be like, there was speculation a month or so ago, I think, that he had met with Tony Khan, and it kind of went on the internet for a little bit, and then Moxley dropping that line, obviously the internet went with it again, and that was kind of the general consensus, was that Shane O'Mac was kind of the drop there that he was going for.
The question is Vinnie Mac coming with Shane O'Mac?
That would be wild. What if it was? What if it's Vince instead of Shane? And Tony just said, "Fuck it, we're gonna go wild, and we're going with Vince."
I mean, he is a free agent right now, so
I mean, but if you're dying anyway, like if they see that they're struggling and Vince has billions of dollars and he's pissed off that and Tony's just like, you know what? You want to come be co-CEO with me, and we'll just run this ship together and have some fun. And he says, yeah, that would be nuts if Vince showed up on AEW. Talk about like a crazy what if.
Oh, absolutely. Like it's hard for the McMahons not to be involved with wrestling. Like,
I feel like though Vince was so hated by most of the people that went to AEW that like you would know already, because they'd be like, no, don't do it. So I would guess it's Shane. That's the most logical, but boy, Vince would be an interesting one.
Well, I'm guessing with Shane, like Vince may be making some phone calls though, like, hey, I gave life to you, so you owe me that.
I feel like they don't. I don't know. I've heard that too, that they do.
Yeah, I heard they don't. Yeah, I heard they don't get along at all. So
that was another conspiracy, like wrestling conspiracy, was that was the original reason that Shane left the company the first time, was because he knew some of this behind the scenes craziness was going on and just didn't want to be a part of it anymore, or they tried to get him to be a part of it or something along those lines. And that was the gist of why he walked away the first time.
Yeah, like he wouldn't partake in the debauchery, or he wouldn't cover it up or something to that extent, and that's why he left.
Look at Shane. Look at him.
Now, at least somebody in the McMahon family has sense.
And he's really good friends with Edge and Christian, isn't he? I think Edge, Christian, and Jericho are all really good friends with Shane. And they kind of, because they always talked about that they play some game at WrestleMania every year.
Really?
They like, it's some sort of like almost like a tag style game where they just like fuck with each other kind of deal. and they just go back and forth doing it or whatever it was. I forget. He talked about it on a podcast, but I can't remember exactly what the concept was. But I think they're all like really good friends also.
Okay. Guess we'll find out. One of these days, Shane McMahon's going to walk out there and be like, I own WCW.
Yeah. I hope they do not recreate history and they realize their mistakes from the first time and they eventually all just start intermingling. Because, again, you have a guy who's not been with WWE for a while and it's getting that buzz. If you send over Triple H shows up on AEW, you see MJF show up on WWE, you see whatever, Tommy Dreamer comes out on AEW.
And it might if Shane did get some of the reins on AEW, the likelihood of it could be very possible because
he bridges the gap with Triple H and Stephanie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it could. If that would happen, I feel like the chances are greater. I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but the chances are greater.
It would be so cool because you really would the storylines would be so much fun because you would never know who was going to pop up, and then all of these just currently even as a kid, if they would have done that with WCW, think about all the hypothetical dream scenarios if they would have done that way back then rather than going to war, understanding that they can all coexist and make the wrestling world this awesome fun thing to watch because it doesn't hurt anybody. It just builds everyone up because now everyone has to watch every show because if you're not watching it, you're recording it. You're going to find it on social media because you want to see who showed up where, when, who's feuding with who. And it becomes so chaotic that if they do it the right way, they could keep these slow builds where you're just doing it one person at a time. You're just releasing people here. You keep running everything the way it is so you don't overwhelm everybody. And you do one person here, one person there, just like they're doing with Joe Hendry. But then he got success, and then they started putting the machine behind him. But then they're going to do what they did with Roman, and they're going to overutilize him. They're going to try to do it too quickly, and then people inevitably turn. And then they're like, all right, I'm sick of this dude. I don't want to hear his music anymore. I don't want to, because there is that too. Think about, if you're listening to a popular radio station every day and they just keep playing the same poppy, popular song over and over and over again. Yeah, you like it those first couple weeks, but then by about a month, you're like, oh shit, all right, we got to find a different song. I'm going to lose my mind. I can't listen to this song again. And I'm
the exact opposite. I've listened to the same song every day since February. There's been times I would drive an hour and I just listen to the same song. If I like something, I'm sticking with it.
That might be some sort of psycho gene. But okay, I shouldn't say that. I like listening to the same songs too, but I mean, if you're getting in the car every day, and it may not be a song that you're choosing to listen to, but the radio station, they like this song and they're playing it because it was catchy the first time you heard it, but now you're hearing it 75 times a day. Every time you turn your car on, it's on, and it's then it starts to almost drive you nuts. Or if you set a song as your alarm in the morning and it keeps going off every day and pissing you off, you inevitably start hating that song, and you're like, okay, I can't, I don't want to hear this song anymore. It makes me cringe. But I think it's kind of like that if they overuse it and they put him in those situations too much, you almost get that overexposure. And I feel like we kind of learned that with our podcast and stuff, where it's we do post a lot, but we don't post near as much as we used to because we've had to kind of figure out the balance of it. And I still we're still figuring out the balance. But yeah, I hope they don't use that. But I think they can slowly, if they all can intermingle, it'd be so cool to just every once in a while somebody pops up on one of these shows and you do it the right way where it's just this slow trickle, and then people start catching on to what's happening, and then they're watching always because you have no idea who's going to show up. The Rumble becomes crazy because who knows, anybody from any company could show up to end up getting a shot at the champion. But it promotes every show across the board because everyone wants to watch.
Mm-hmm. No,
it'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if Shane McMahon comes out something cool will probably happen.
Yep.
I don't click that button.
I've been very ranty this morning. I went on a couple little tangents.
It's okay. Over on Impact, looked like a good show. Joe Hendry, he wrestled Brian Myers.
Yeah.
He got the dub on that.
America, Scotland, and Canada.
Sorry.
Hammerstone, our old buddy Hammerstone, he defeated Eric Young. Yeah, that was kind of the big matches in my opinion. I mean, Jordan Grace, she defeated Ashley Evans.
So it was a no DQ match, and it was kind of like almost like a street fight kind of thing. It was something by Elegant, like what is that? Ash by Elegance, or
Ash by Elegance, formerly known as Dana Brooke.
So Jordan Grace grabs a bag, and that she does the tack spot where she dumps it out, but it was diamonds. Yeah. So a little bit different. I don't know that anyone ever went into it. She ended up getting thrown face first into the chair, and I didn't get to watch the rest of it. That was when the clip ended. So I do not know if anybody actually went into the diamonds, but it was a pretty cool, different way to do that.
Yeah. No, that's Ash by Elegance. She's really, since getting released from WWE, she's really kind of elevated herself. So taking that Matt Cardona approach. Looking forward to the 3 pay-per-views coming up. We have TNA Emergence.
That's tonight.
It's tonight. I think the main event, an hour-long Iron Man match. Nick Nemeth and Josh Alexander. We have a TNA X Division Championship 6-way Ultimate X match. Those are fun to watch.
Yeah.
We got there Mike Bailey, Zach Wentz, Riley Osborne, Jason Hotch, Hammerstone, and the Laredo Kid. Heck yeah. Tag match. We got the System, which is Moose, Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers, JDC takes on the Hardys, Joe Hendry, and Mike Santana. Joe Hendry's got a busy weekend.
Yeah, Joe Hendry's everywhere.
The women's tag team match, Jordan Grace and Spitfire versus Ash by Elegance. And then Eric Young and Steve Macklin. Matt Cardona takes on PCO.
And they just do theirs on their app, right? That TNA Plus.
Probably. They I don't know if you know who PCO is. Dude, that guy's been wrestling forever.
I don't think I know who that is.
He used to be tag team partners with the Mountie in the early 90s, if that kind of.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Heard of the Mountie.
Huh?
I've heard of the Mountie.
You've heard of the Mountie?
I don't know. I'm sure I've watched him wrestle at one point or another with you, but
probably
not I told you we need to start doing a wrestling history segment where you teach me something about wrestling history. Because it's fascinating the amount of knowledge you have about wrestling. Like you even do, I didn't know you had the full-fledged spreadsheet for the companies we commentate for until you pulled it up the other day. You have the entire history of every match that's ever happened and who won and lost. And it was very impressive. I thought it was awesome.
I like to deep dive from time to time when I get saucy and feel like doing it.
It helps with our commentary, though. I feel like it aids in the story because then if there are spots where there's not things that we can talk about, or if there's things that there's just a slow spot, whatever, you can fill that with what you're doing your research on, and it's very helpful.
No, it's fun. It's fun to learn too. Then we have Bash at Berlin at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. It's in Germany.
Speaking of that, SmackDown's on in 15 minutes.
Yeah, SmackDown comes on at noon. They're in Germany today too. The Gunther, Randy Orton for the world title. I like that match.
That'll be a real good one. Those
Cody
two
Rhodes
beat the fuck out of each other.
They will. That's going to be a hard hitting match. Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens for the undisputed title. I could give a shit less. I don't know. I just kind of not been. It's a SmackDown side, so I don't pay much attention to it. But
especially when Friday night, your kid's playing football on Friday nights, so sitting down to watch wrestling isn't always a thing. Which I guess you record and watch it Saturday mornings. And
I don't know. But I've never watched SmackDown. That's never. Growing up, it was always on those weird channels. And it's I don't want watching that, and I kind of just stuck in my ways on that one.
Yeah.
Now, Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley versus Dom and Liv. That match is probably the one I'm looking forward to the most. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in a strap match. I'm over it. I'm over the rivalry. I'm over it. Why don't they like make a big bracelet? They got to like wrestle inside of a bracelet. Like they're stuck together and they just beat the crap out of each other in a bracelet.
They just turn the ropes into one big bracelet.
I just don't. I'm over that feud. I'm just over.
I get it. Like there's the aspect of like the sentimental thing. Like I understand what they're doing, but the way they portrayed it made it look like corny and cheesy, and it just, I don't know. It was hard to, because you start going like, these dudes really like going back and forth over a fucking bracelet. Like, come on, man. And
it's title, a bracelet.
Yeah, and it's so like there's been multiple times where like if Punk really wanted it back, he could have just like reached over and grabbed it out of his hand, like he's holding it in his face, and it's like, but if that's a real situation and somebody has my bracelet and they're like, my kid made it and they're holding it at me, I'm going, yeah, and if they pull it back, I'm just going to punch them in the face and take it. I totally understand that, like that's the whole story, is they can't touch each other until the match and blah blah blah. But there's been multiple times where he could have just grabbed it.
This every time I see any match now or any segment, I'm like,
well, you don't like Punk anyway, so that doesn't.
I'm not a Punk guy, and I'm just like this. I don't know. I'm sure at one time
there too, because like I don't mind Punk. I think Punk is just very vocal and doesn't give a shit that he runs his mouth because he knows he's right and he just talks shit. I mean, I'm sure there's been plenty of times that he's been incorrect, but I just think that he has no filter and he is just very blunt with people, and some people like that and some people don't. And I think he just rubs a lot of people the wrong way, but he seems to be fitting back in with the WWE world just fine. So I think it's one of those, like, he just is very blunt and calls people out for their bullshit, and some people can't handle it.
Yeah. I've never liked him, even when he was young. So he didn't acknowledge our sign we made in 06. So that's when I've stopped liking him.
That makes sense now. I didn't realize he had like a personal like vendetta against CM Punk because he.
Yeah, we were at the Holman Center, because it's a gigantic stadium and you can't see it. Like the seats are so high, you can't see a 6-foot sign made. You can't even acknowledge me.
I remember that. Who the hell did I go to that show with? But I remember that because you guys were up in the top thing and you had this big ass, like, wasn't it like yellow Pepsi or something?
It's like a big Pepsi logo or something.
Yeah. And he didn't say anything to you guys at all?
He didn't acknowledge, like, not even a point or and this is like when he broke into the WWE, like, because I didn't watch.
You guys really enjoyed Pepsi products.
Maybe, I don't know, but ever since then I've just been and then the more he talks, I'm like, but no. Then the last match is Alba Fire and Isla Dawn versus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill for the women's tag team championships.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Jade and Bianca will retain.
They're not the champions right now. They're going to win.
They're not? The other two are the champions? Oh, then I'm guessing they're going to win. I don't know that I know who the other two you just said are.
Yeah, exactly. And then Sunday, we have NXT No Mercy. We have a NXT Championship match. Ethan Page versus Joe Hendry.
And then this boy's wrestling every day.
Man, he's lit, dude. You might as well. The iron's hot. Keep going.
Strike it.
And then the NXT Women's match. Roxana Perez versus Jada Parker. Then we have the NXT Women's North American match. Kelani Jordan and Wendy Chu. Then the men's North American match. Obafemi, Tony D'Angelo. Then the NXT tag match, Chase U versus Nathan Fraser and Axiom. And then we have our grudge match, Wes Lee and Zachary Wentz. Not a lot of crossover I guess there's two matches crossover. But
I don't ever get into NXT. That's one that, like, most of the names you just said, I have not a damn clue who any of them are.
I like NXT over AEW, I'll tell you what, because it's a little more story involved.
So I don't mind, like, I like AEW. I like the old school feel of it. They don't do, like, I think WWE is too digital. It almost, like, hurts your eyeballs. It's too bright. And
they said it hurts your balls. I was like, what?
No. Well, it hurts your balls when you get thrown out of the ring. I learned that. But no, it hurts your eyeballs. It's so freaking bright. And, like, NXT, I told you that before. It's hard to watch because it's so damn bright. But, like, Raw does that too sometimes where it's almost too much screens and digital where it hurts your eyes. And AEW has that old school ring, the commentating tables, like there's not screens everywhere. So that's one thing that I like that Like I like when WWE dials it back and they don't do the gigantic Titantrons with all the screens. Like they talked about that, but I don't know that I know they've done it some, but dialing those back and not putting the screens on the side panels of the ring. And I get it, advertising and everything else, like they make so much money off of all that, so they have to keep that stuff up. But yeah, it does. Sometimes it's almost too much.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll try to give AEW another chance, but God, the last couple times I tuned in, I'm like, just click.
I wish that they would just calm down. Like, I wish they would just calm down and slow down. And sometimes I wish WWE would stop trying to create the bloodline storyline with everything, because you're not going to do that. You can't turn everything into a year-long feud. It's not. I mean, you can, I guess, but people are going to lose interest, and you're not going to have the cast of characters that did or the minds behind it. But there's sometimes that I feel like they take some of these feuds, now that they had success with the long term of the like bloodline story and all of that like then they'll almost take these nonchalant ones and drag them a little too far, where it's like, oh shit, they're still doing this one. Like you'll tune out for a couple weeks and come back and it's like, oh, okay. But then AEW is the exact opposite. You'll watch it and you miss one show there and you come back and it's like, oh, this is a whole new roster. Who are these people? Like, it doesn't make it, and you don't even know who the hell everybody is. Yeah. And that kind of takes you out of it. So it's that, I don't know, again, it's that balance, I guess, of finding that storytelling to wrestling where you get all of the above, because that's what it is. Like you've talked about that, where it's hard for you to watch WWE sometimes because of the lack of wrestling, where it's like, well, shit, there was 2 matches through the whole card, but then AEW, you go to that show and shit,
there's 75.
Yeah, you get to watch 150 matches, some of which are going at you at lightning speed, and you're watching wrestling for 5 hours going, yeah, I'm really tired, but this is great. But
the crowd seems really down right now. Yeah, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm watching 25 hours.
That was the exact opposite, where like you're sitting there watching a show, and everything goes dark, and they're just playing videos on the screen, and you're sitting there at commercial breaks for 25 minutes, and you're just like, well, cool. When are they going to have a match? Like, when did they get in the ring and do things? And it's that balance.
Yep. Oh yeah, but that's enough of the major leagues. OVW was last night, and congrats to Dalton McKenzie. Him and AJZ won the OVW tag team titles, and all hell broke loose. Revolution came in and just cleaned house with the OVW roster. So, shout out.
There was somebody at my house, so I had to send a message and let them know that I was live.
Oh, well. I said Dalton McKenzie. Him and AJZ won the OVW tag team titles last night. The Revolution's gotten stronger. It looked like they added J-Rod to their squad, and they cleared. There was a lot of bodies laying in the ring at the show. So,
oh yeah, that was and then I think it was the Cash Flow came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they all. So what happened? Sorry, I was a little discombobulated there. I watched most of the clips. So Dalton and that group was in the ring, and they laid everybody out, and then the Cash Flow kind of came to the rescue, basically.
Mm-hmm. Basically, I was watching on mute, so I don't know what that was.
I don't know the context, but yes, that's pretty much what happened.
I was trying to figure out, did they win the OVW titles, and they did. So I know Crixus, he's kind of the ringleader of the group, and it's OVW better be careful. Al Snow better be careful, because the Revolution could take over and just own OVW.
Yep. I did watch that. Did I say that last week that I watched that documentary?
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it yet, go on Netflix and watch it's called like The Wrestler or something, but it's a documentary about OVW and kind of what they do. And obviously they're doing very, very well currently, because I think they're redoing their facility and they've been traveling around, and it seems like it's going quite well. But it was a cool little documentary that kind of shows you like the behind the scenes of the independent world and their lives. And I don't know, it was really neat.
Yeah, no, and I think last night was their homecoming episode. I could be wrong, like their first episode back in the renovated Danny Davis Arena. Now, looking forward to the independent scene, we have our guy, Ashton Adonis.
Yep.
He's got 3 matches coming up next weekend. He took this weekend off. Need a little relax and rest.
Holiday. He deserves his rest.
We can't have our guy getting hurt.
I think he needs more of that, actually.
Don't push it. Don't push it. But he next weekend, busy weekend. I pull up the screen so I don't butcher the dates.
Yes, I'll just go. That's a great idea. We'll just go one by one, and I don't have to guess.
September 8th, Ashton takes on Sage Phillips at Wrestle With This. That's the late breaking news. It's on YouTube. So be sure to check that out. Wrestle With This is a great company. It's in Indianapolis, and come out and check them out. Well, you can't. It's closed captioned. It's closed off. You have to watch them on YouTube.
Gotta go watch it on
subscribe to their YouTube page. And then September 8th. And then Ashton takes on, also on September 8th, Silas Young takes on Ashton at the 3 Rings of Doom. Where's that at? Bourbon, Indiana. I don't know where that is.
Bourbon Park Pavilion.
Yeah, off the MapQuest Bourbon. I don't know.
That's how badass our champion is. He's taken 2 matches in one day. He's going to go beat ass twice in one day.
One day. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And he's got one other match.
Why are you doubting our champion?
I don't know. Saturday, September 7th, Ashton takes on Daniel Stark at Pro Wrestling Kingdoms, Keeping Up with the Jonases. Oh, that's for the PWK Heritage Championship.
He's going to have all kinds of belts.
He's going to be a belt collector. Keeps it up.
And you don't want to forget this one.
September 22nd at White River in Pax Verum. That is in LaPel, Indiana. He takes on the veteran Jack Vaughn. That's going to be a banger. While we're on the subject of White River Wrestling, what other matches do they announced?
We have the Pax Verum. We have Mr. Jake Oman.
Ooh, the White River Wrestling Championship. Jake Oman takes on Aaron Williams. Oh, that'll be a great match, too.
Then we have a tag match.
Ooh, a tag match. Twist and Flip versus Carter Kaufman and Elijah Arrows. All right. And
then another hell of a match.
Logan Myers and Ace Perry. That's going to be a classic. Classic match.
In LaPel, Indiana at the Pax Beer and Brewing Company. That'll be a damn good show. That's a cool setup for the show, too. They're outside.
It's at a bar, so you can drink beer and watch wrestling.
Badass wrestling.
That's a lot of fun. September next weekend as well. Your buddy Sam Knight, he's back.
Yeah, he's back. He's going to get ended. Shaq Jordan's just going to end him. He's got a bad ticker anyway. He's pushing it too soon. This dude's going to end his career, and then at Fall Fury, we'll get to listen to Sam Knight's retirement. It's going to be awesome.
Whatever. Sam Knight will be at Rocket Pro Wrestling Fall Brawl, and he takes on Shaq Jordan. Then, moving forward, September 21st at All Vermilion Wrestling. 21 Over the Top. They will have a Royal Rumble match, I believe. I might have butchered that, but we have one match announced already. Cecil Cerveza versus Cameron Cross.
Dude, that'll be a fun one.
That'll be a good one. And then Limbo takes on that piece of trash, Clayton Clark.
That's so rude. He is a sheriff.
The sheriff of something. BS.
Yeah, at one point I did deem him the sheriff of Shithead City, but he has since kind of grown on me a little bit. And
no, I watched what he did to Dalton Davis. I even commented on his Instagram. I said, that was a piece of trash move, what you did there. But
he took an opportunity and made himself in a better position. So
no.
He was kind of smart.
And then September 28th, Signal 10 Wrestling Fall Fury. Get your tickets now. The fairgrounds, signal10wrestling.com. There's 2 match announcements so far. And our first one, Carter Kaufman takes on Leela Feist in a grudge match. Carter Kaufman's been doing some dirty tactics, getting some dirty wins, and Leela's going to take care of that.
Yeah, coming off a collarbone injury.
Yeah, just coming off collarbone injury. And then we just have our heavyweight championship matchup. Jake Oman takes on the veteran Jack Vaughn.
That's going to be badass.
Yeah, it will be. Those guys are friends, but will they still be friends at the end of the show?
Or
that title That title I've seen ruin friendships, man.
Yep.
So
Emperor reigns supreme, or will the veteran come in and be the new mainstay of?
we will see. We will find out. And then Hybrid Championship Wrestling just announced their next show. It will be The Fright or Fight, and that is October 26th, I believe. I can't read. Yeah, October 26th. And that, I believe that's at Strive. Is that a Strive or is that? Oh, it's a Strive 365. They're hitting the turf, baby.
Our first one commentating at Strive.
Absolutely. So they've got that going on. And you're going to see guys in action like the Cobra, that piece of trash Clayton Clark again, Ace Perry, the Hype, the War Pigs, they'll be in action. So it's going to be a lot of fun there. And then also October 25th, the Pumpkin Smash Monster Bash presented by Singleton Wrestling at Max and Honey's. You can get your tickets. And it's going to be a lot of fun, an outdoor show. Jake Owen will be there. Hopefully Ashton's there. Hopefully. Elijah. And
what? I might send him on a vacation. You bought Sam something for winning the title. We ought to buy him a little, present for. And this time we have a top tier talent, so you got to give him a top tier gift. You can't.
I get him a sweatshirt.
We can't just give him. No, we can't just give him a shirt. We got to do something nice for the guy.
I don't know about that.
I got some ideas. Don't worry. Okay. I'll take care of it. You just keep fanboying over Sam, and I'll take care of Ashton. Don't worry.
I'm not fanboying at all. I'm just being honest. But that's all the upcoming events. So there's a lot of big weekend of wrestling coming up this weekend, and then there's some independent shows coming up soon around the area. So
we say it every week, but if you are a wrestling fan, obviously we just showed you there are shows everywhere. You see a lot of these guys. They're all very, very good at what they do. Go support them. Go watch. You will not be disappointed. They put on a hell of a show, and every time people come, I feel like they always want to come back, especially kids. They have a blast at these shows. These guys do such a good job of interacting. So absolutely, any of the shows we just pulled up, if you're in the area and you're not busy, come hang out with us. It's a very good time.
It's a lot of fun. And like I said before, this is up close and personal action. You'll see, you've seen guys make it to the top. You see guys on the rise at these shows. You see everything. All walks of life, all different kinds of people. They have a merch table set up. You can go buy the merch. You can go get pictures with them. I don't think that happens at WWE shows. I don't think that happens at AEW shows. So you're up close and personal with these wrestlers. So go take advantage of it. Tickets you'll pay a lot less than you will at WWE, I promise you.
Yeah. And PSA, if you're coming to these shows, PSA for the fans, have fun. Don't care, boo, cheer, bring signs, have a good time, because that's what it's about. We want to have fun with you when we're in the ring talking or doing whatever. That's what we want. We love when people are interacting and having fun with us, and it just makes for a better all-around show. So come and have fun. Absolutely. So thank you for tuning in with us. We're going to take this time. We're going to thank our gold sponsors. They let us do what we do. So thank you, gold sponsors. Pappy's Barbecue, meet, eat, repeat. Wabash Valley Plumbing, they lay pipe. That's our slogan, not theirs. U.S. Lawns Terre Haute, they mow grass and have mums. RJ's Formal Wear, they have sweet suits. ML Productions, they make movies, not those movies. Stitch Brands, they embroider stuff. Peak Performance Gym, no peak, no results. Wabash Valley Adult Teen Challenge, meeting you at the crossroads of addiction. And Blue Anchor Roofing and Restoration, they fix stuff. Thank you. I need to take all of the slogans off just so you get to make them up, because I love that you just improv them every time and they just ever change. It makes me laugh.
I like improving. It's fun.
I enjoy it. You did a great job.
Thank you. I try really hard.
You did awesome.
I put the full ass and half ass.
That's a good shirt. We need to make that for you.
Yeah. Well, I got to go make our Ask Me About My Podcast shirt. So,
yeah.
They came in. I walked to the people's office today to get them. I walked. Well, I was already at the track. I was halfway there.
I'm just finished my walk and go there.
And then I went.
But look at you. I'm proud of you.
Well, I try, So with that, we are out of here. Keep pushing. Peace.
Sam Knight sucks.